Hey guys, welcome to another Unfiltered Gamer review. I'm Anthony, and this is Jack.
Today's game that we'll be playing is made and published by Roxley. It is 2 to 8 players, approximately 60 minutes long, and for ages 14 and up.
The game we'll be playing today is called Steampunk Rally. It's a card drafting race game where you play as an inventor of your choosing, such as Nikola Tesla or Albert Einstein. To begin, each player receives 2 character cards, one of which has a light bulb which needs to be turned on before each round. It also comes with a damage gauge which needs to be set to 0 before playing. In the playfield you have 3 different colored die and cogs, which are used as currency. To start, you need to place your character at the start of the map, which is customizable in any way. It can differ in length, however long you want it to be. There are also 4 decks, 3 of which increase the size of your ship, and 1 is an action card. Once the setup is complete, the game may begin.
When playing Steampunk Rally, there are 4 phases. Each phase is played simultaneously amongst players.
First phase is the draft phase, where you receive 4 cards, one from each deck. They're used for constructing your machine, generating power, gaining cogs, or stashing power cards.
During the next phase, the Vent phase, you spin cogs to free up ship space and to play action cards.
The next phase is the race phase, where you roll your dice, activate machine parts, and spend cogs to increase your dice score.
In the last phase, the damage phase, for every terrain damage you take, you go -1 on the damage gauge. For each negative, you must lose a piece to your machine.
And finally, you clean up.
During the first phase, the draft phase, one player will select 1 card from each deck. They will do so for each of the players that are playing the game. You will then select a card based on your liking and face it down. Afterwards, once every player has selected their card, you will pass it either left or right. Once all the cards are passed out, the next portion of the draft phase will begin.
As players are choosing their cards, they can place a piece to their invention. They can scrap it. This one, for example, gives me 2 steam. This one, for example, gives me 2 cogs. And if you have a power card, you can place it underneath your gauge for later use.
During the Vent phase, if you have gotten any cogs from your machine or a broken down card, you may use them to remove 2 pips on a die. For example, this 6 die, I would have to use 3 cogs in order to completely remove it off of the machine.
To start the race phase, you need to roll the dice that you received from the draft phase. You place the dice on your invention to activate the machinery.
You could also spend a cog to add 1 pip to each die. After rolling your die, each player should simultaneously flip over their inventor token, which will give you an outcome based on your character card.
Right here, when I rolled an 8, with the dividend of 4, it doubles the outcome. So I would move 4 spaces and take 2 damage.
Over here, I rolled a 15, which will give me 5 movement spaces based on the dividend of 3, which allows me to move once.
And lastly, over here, with the star indication, whichever die you roll, you can only get it once. Right here, I get 2 red die and 1 cog. Once you've rolled the die, they are locked there until the next vent phase, which then you can remove with cogs.
When moving your character card, you will take terrain damage as you go throughout the map. For example, if I were to go 4 spaces, I would take a total of 3 terrain damage. For every terrain damage I take, I will go -1 on the damage gauge. For each negative I have, I will take 1 card away from my machine that I've built. When removing parts to your ship, if you can no longer remove any more, you will start behind the last player.
Once a player crosses the finish line, there will be 1 more round.
The person furthest along after the end of that round will be crowned the winner. That's basically how you play Steampunk Rally by Roxley. Now let's get on to the review. So what do you think about the game, Anthony?
I really love the customizability with the map, especially because you always play a game that is, way too long or too short. You always want something in between. With this game, you can, change the timing of whatever, with whatever the map makes.
Yeah, I really like that aspect. I also like the amount of players that they recommended. 2, if you want a shorter game, like Anthony said, is a good number. 8 if you want a longer game. I think 6 is really a magic number for the amount of players that you want to play.
Yeah, definitely in the center. I also like the customizability of your ship. You can place it whenever you want, wherever you want, and you can just do whatever with whatever part of your ship you want.
Yeah, you could plow through terrain, or you could just try and speed over it. Now the theme, I'd say the steampunk theme really was clearly evident in the gameplay. Just the overall aspect was there.
Yeah, definitely. I could also definitely play this again with like a lot of people. I would recommend it to a lot of people. Play with them. Have fun.
I definitely would too. Now, what do you think about the luck of the skill? I say that there is skill based on building your ship, based on the way you want to build your ship, like I said earlier, whether it be a terrain roller or you just want to speed through things. But I also think it takes luck to roll the die, or just roll the die basically.
Yeah, I definitely say there would be, more skill over luck, because you can, customize the amount of pips you have on your die.
Definitely.
With cogs, and wherever you use your dice on your ship.
Yeah, I lost a game because I didn't have enough skill.
And I lost the game because I was expecting a long run in a short game.
That was not the game's fault.
Poor planning. That's what it was. Overall, this will be a fun game to play with the family or a lot of friends.
Yeah, I'd recommend it for a small gathering party, holiday, whatever you want to do. Good birthday present, Christmas, whatever. Thank you for watching another Unfiltered Gamer board game review. See you in the next video.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Visit our website at unfilteredgamer.com.
And if you like giveaways, please check out our website or our friends at everythingboardgames.com and thegiveawaygeek.com.
See you later. Thank you for watching another Unfiltered Gamer video game review.
Nope, not video game. Board game.
When removing parts for your ship, if you can no longer replace any... When replacing parts to your ship, if you can no longer replace any parts to your ship, you...
Nope.
Once you've used the die, they're locked there forever until the next vent phase.
They're locked there until you move them in the next vent phase.
Locked until... I would say forever.
Forever. They're forever locked there.
The ones that are used with the star card are
I meant to
locked
say
there forever.
until, not forever. Okay.
Permanent.